What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another video, and today I want to tell you guys about my experience at the Halo 5 tournament at the Microsoft Store.
Right now we are hosting a Halo 5 free-for-all event here at the Microsoft Store University Village. Open to anyone from the community that wants to drop by our store and come by, hang out, meet some new people, meet some other local fans, and also have some kind of competitive fun as well.
Shocker, I love Halo 5. If you guys have watched my channel, you know I'm a super huge fan of the game. I still do play it, not as much as I used to, but after today's tournament, I'm definitely re-energized and reinvigorated into the community. So, as you guys saw in the clip just a second ago, Microsoft announced that they were going to be holding local Halo 5 tournaments at stores across the country. All you had to do is go online and register to play. We just got through the first of 3 new sets of tournaments, the first being the free-for-all, which was today. Next month, they're going to do 2v2s, and then the following month, they're going to do 4 vs 4s. So I haven't been to one of these tournaments before, and I didn't know what to expect. I'm a huge fan of the Elite controller, but I kind of figured that they wouldn't want you to use your own stick, and instead they would be providing you one. Turns out I was wrong. A lot of people brought their own controllers. Some of them were scuffed. Some of them were Elites. Some people had their own headphones. I just showed up, just me, and my Microsoft Fan Fest shirt, ready to rock and roll with my buddy Brent, and didn't know what to expect. Turns out there were about 30 or so people that were signed up to play, and it was a double elimination bracket of free-for-all. Now, free-for-all, hit and miss, you know, you got to get that last shot, which is frustrating when you're sitting there just laying fire into somebody and then just an errant grenade or random pistol shot from across the map and your kill is stolen. And it only goes by kills, so you could have 1,000 assists in the game and it does not matter. You got to score that final shot, and it is really frustrating. That said, it's not my favorite game mode, obviously. The tournament was actually pretty well put together. I think most Microsoft stores are laid out very similarly, at least the 3 that I've been to. I've been to the headquarters store in New York. I've been to the Florida Mall store and the Millennium Mall store. And the Millennium Mall is actually where this tournament was held. And in the back, they have that projector room where they do demos and tutorials and that sort of thing. They brought those militarized cases where you have a Halo inside of like a plastic hard case. You lift up the lid. Inside is a screen with speakers. The console's right there, so you're ready to go. The big problem with this tournament, though, and what really let me down, I didn't get to my results quite yet, was that the local network was down. So we used Wi-Fi. And let me tell you guys something, that there was so much interference in that store. We're getting some really weird things happening. A lot of lag spikes, rubber banding, flip booking as I call it, where characters are just bouncing all over the place without any fluid motion. Grenade lag, shots lagged. It was very frustrating. Now, each console played out differently, but as I was waiting my turn, kind of walking the line and watching, everybody's experience was slightly different, and it was frustrating. Now, I can't say that it ultimately meant that somebody, you know, didn't make it farther than they should have in the bracket. I think the skill pretty much like laid itself out, but come on, Microsoft. You're in the Microsoft store, okay? This is the, you know, this is the mecca of your place. It's an event hosted by you in conjunction with your own 343 Industries studio. And you're telling me we're going to have connection problems? Like, how amateur hour is that? That's something that I would expect from, like, me throwing a LAN, right? But not those guys, and that really was a letdown. Everything else, though, seemed to go okay. The bracket was a little bit confusing. It was a double elimination bracket with loser brackets, but because it wasn't just a definitive winner, because you're doing these free-for-alls, they ended up taking the top 3. And sometimes it wasn't really clear as to when you were going to play and what it meant for you in terms of your overall career, you know, in terms of like your bracket life. I ended up finishing either 7th or 8th out of all the players because I was right at the door of the finals, but I didn't make the cut. I was the king of the losers. I successfully, I'm very proud of myself, got 49 whopping kills in a single match. They were 12-minute free-for-all matches. 49 kills. It was the most anybody got in any single match in terms of kills. And that was the loser finals. Now, Yes, that did mean people lost, but they were fighting to get back in. And really a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of cool people. Had a really fun time, exchanged some gamer tags with some people, so I'm sure, you know, more adventures to follow. I'll definitely be there for the next one, so I'm looking for my second in my World Domination 2's team. I think it's going to be pretty cool. You know, esports is something that's very passionate to me, and getting to play on the Quake 3 stage and at E3 and playing with the pros, you know, with Team Liquid and getting kills against them and playing showed me just how mortal a lot of these internet, you know, superstars are. And you watch these guys stream and you watch the pros, but they're people just like you and I. And to be able to go into that environment and compete and actually win at the E3 tournament, it really felt good, and it really got me in that spirit of competition. And I really felt that today. And I mean, I was definitely very tense, you know, as that timer's ticking down, just waiting for your moment, you know, that adrenaline dump, your hands shaking, getting nervous, your palms are sweaty, and you're just like, oh, like, this is it, this is happening. And knowing that when you lose, you're going home, that's it, your tournament life could be over. It really did add another layer of excitement to it. I mean, yes, it was stressful, but it was fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I stuck around after I was eliminated just to watch the final. And congratulations to everybody who placed better than me and worse than me. It's cool to see such a small but loyal community still playing through this game. I have to eat a little crow here before I go, though, and I have to say that I've been extremely hard on games that aren't trending well. Lawbreakers is definitely one of them. Titanfall 2, although I've kind of come around and I really do enjoy that experience. Titanfall is definitely one of those games I was hard on early on. And I gotta say that there are passionate fans out there. And I know a lot of you guys write some pretty stupid things to me on YouTube. So that's probably not going to change my reaction to you guys. But I understand the passion. And if those other games do host events like this, I highly encourage you guys to go. If they're doing a local LAN for Lawbreakers or for Titanfall or whatever your favorite game happens to be, you really got to go there. It's so hard to explain. You know, sitting in the comfort of your couch in your enclosed environment playing is so different than being there with people around you who are interested in the same thing you are, cheering for you, rooting for you, booing, hissing, watching as you compete and play against other people. It's an experience unlike anything else. So my hat's off to Microsoft for putting this together. 343, I'm very, very happy. I'll be at the other two. I was already a Halo fan for life. This doesn't change my opinion, but it really does relight that fire. So if you are a fan of competitive games or you are a fan of esports, keep it up. There is definitely a market for this. This isn't one of those things that people say, oh, well, you know, esports is a fad or who cares. It's just as real as any other competitive sport, whether it be a contact sport, whether it be more of a thinking man's sport, or whatever it happens to be. The competitive spirit is there, and Microsoft has done an amazing job of honing that in on these tournaments and allowing people like me to have my moment in the sun. So thanks again for everybody who put this together, and I will definitely be competing in more. So keep an eye out for JASEFAT, the leader of free men. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there, be competitive. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.